What's up everyone? Welcome back to my review of Men's Fashion Week. Today we are diving into the biggest menswear shows from Milan Fashion Week. As a result of the ongoing luxury slowdown, the show schedule felt a bit sparse this season, with some major absences like Gucci, Fendi, Moschino, and D-Squared. With luxury market cooling off and consumers shopping more cautiously, designers aim to broaden their appeal. The focus shifted toward wearability, casual style, practicality, and comfort, all without compromising on design. But it was not all minimalism and simplicity. We also saw a surge of maximalist, opulent trends, with fur making a bold return. Other key themes included thrift store aesthetics and retro influences. Alright, let's dive in and discuss the shows in more detail. Prada dropped its highly anticipated Fall 25 menswear collection at Fondazione Prada. The set design created a bold atmosphere with raw industrial metal structures. It felt like a mix between a construction site and an underground techno club. Miuccia Prada and Raf Simons titled the collection Unbroken Instincts, channeling raw creativity and primal energy. Designers explored human nature and basic instincts as a tool for fundamental human creativity. That spontaneous approach shaped the entire collection. It was all about unlearned reactions, automatic responses, and primitive urges. While the collection predominantly embodied Prada's ugly chic aesthetic, still Raf Simons' touch was undeniable, adding a youthful, rebellious edge. The collection thrived on contrasts, past versus future, primality versus modernity. Shilling pelts, reminiscent of ancient garments, were paired with sleek silk pajamas and structured bowling bags. These unexpected combinations came together in a way that felt instinctive and undeniably human. Shilling and fur were everywhere this season, but Prada took the trend in its own unique direction. Wool overcoats featured roughly cut shilling on lapels and collars, giving classic outerwear a raw, unfinished feel. Interestingly, they were styled over bare chests. This choice of style balanced toughness with sensuality, reinforcing the collection theme of instinct versus refinement. Simplicity and spontaneity were indeed at the heart of the collection. Certainly, in fashion, there are no boundaries. Things can be combined even when they seem unlikely to belong together. Notable examples include silk pajamas paired with structured coats and cowboy boots. Playful contrasts like this kept the collection exciting, fresh, and dynamic. Simplicity and wearability were key themes this fashion week. The show even opened with a stripped-back look, just a knitted t-shirt and dress pants. Other highlights included a shrunken floral t-shirt with rugged faded jeans. This look captures a raw, unfiltered sense of nostalgia. The styling feels intentionally awkward, playing with proportions and ideas of fragility, masculinity, and vulnerability. The territory Prada has mastered very well. Some pieces felt like they were pulled from a forgotten thrift store and reimagined as high fashion. Accessories brought even more personality and further enhanced the unexpected. Metal amulets, basketball-shaped earrings, and floral brooches all added to the eclectic mix. The collection reinforced its focus on wearability and spontaneity with a range of chunky knitwear. It captured Prada's signature mix of intellectual grunge and refined imperfection. Brown tailored trousers grounded those outfits in classic menswear, while green patterned cowboy boots added eccentricity to the mix. Footwear played a key role in defining the collection's attitude. Cowboy boots with upturned toes added a Western-inspired edge to the collection. Raf Simons explains that even though there were plenty of cowboy boots, the goal was not to make them look like full-on cowboys. The intent was to keep it as a subtle influence rather than an obvious theme. We had a small segment of plaid outerwear that echoed Prada's Spring 23 designs. Other highlights included leather suits. We had a roughly patched leather suit that had a rugged dystopian elegance. It looked like a piece of wearable armor. With every collection, Prada and Simons' creative partnership grows stronger. This time, their vision centered on spontaneity and basic instincts. The collection thrived on contrasts, with a strong focus on the tension between primal energy and modernity. These opposing forces shaped the image of the Prada man, a modern nomad navigating a world where luxury and decay coexist. Collections like this bring much-needed excitement to fashion and cut through today's oversaturation and lack of originality. Dolce & Gabbana's menswear collection once again draws heavily from nostalgia, much like their recent spring-summer lineup. This time, the designers draw inspiration from the golden era of Italian cinema, paying tribute to the legendary Marcello Mastroianni and the world of La Dolce Vita, Federico Fellini's iconic 1960s film that defined an era. This film told a story about a society obsessed with sensationalism and exposure, and immortalized the figure of paparazzi. Long story short, this collection is a tribute to the paparazzi, but not just in a literal sense. It's an exploration of modern society's relationship with privacy and public life, a theme that feels more relevant than ever in today's social media-driven world. The collection is divided into two distinct worlds: the everyday man, navigating his daily life and work routine, and the man who transforms for an exclusive event, party, or high-profile media event. This duality reflects the fine line we cross each day between our private reality and the curated life we share publicly. So designers explored how identity shifts with context and presented a wardrobe that transitions between those two realms. The color palette is rooted in black and gray, staples of the brand's identity, reinforcing the timeless understated elegance that is central to the collection. The focus is on simple, casual, and highly wearable pieces, while maintaining the refined elegance that defines the brand. Fabric choices reflect this blend of comfort and luxury. Wool, tweed, flannel, shearling, and fur dominates the collection, creating a rich interplay of textures that feels both classic and modern. If there is one thing that stood out this season, it's shearling and fur, a clear obsession for Fall/Winter 25. The designers included this obsession into their work, layering fur coats over heavy knits, anoraks, turnecks, and even sweatpants, blurring the line between casual wear and luxury. But beyond aesthetics, this contrast between laid-back essentials and luxurious outerwear plays into the collection's bigger theme: how we present ourselves to the world. The fur, almost like a mask, represents the polished, curated image we choose to show, while the simple core underneath reflects a real, unfiltered version of ourselves. Another major highlight of the collection was the tension between retro influences and modern streetwear. It created a striking contrast and brought a unique energy into the lineup. Designers focused on layering, contemporary styling, and reworked silhouettes that felt both fresh yet nostalgic. Retro-inspired pleated pants in heavy wool, flannel, and tweed were standout pieces. Modern design elements such as lower belt loops, double waists, and layered belts gave these classic staples a fresh, contemporary edge. The collection reinforced the idea that simplicity is key. In some cases, styling was deliberately simplified to showcase the unique character of each creation in its purest form. The result, effortless attitude in its most laid-back form. The soft handmade sweaters, crafted from thick yarns, along with rich flannels and wools, all embraced this inclination. Domenico and Stefano's impeccable tailoring shine through in the vintage suits and tweed ensembles, effortlessly transporting us to different eras. Many looks were deeply rooted in 1930s academic style, evoking the image of a literature professor, a bohemian intellectual, or an artist. On the opposite end of the spectrum, other ensembles leaned into vintage gangster aesthetics, reminiscent of Peaky Blinders but reimagined through an Italian lens. Military influences were also evident, especially in the outerwear. Military-inspired coats, fur-trimmed collars, and accessories like flat caps and vintage-style leather bags evoked imagery of 1930s off-duty soldiers. Despite the vintage inspiration, the cuts and details kept the looks modern and wearable. The show closed with the evening wear segment with a series of black tuxedos, heavily influenced by 1940s, 1950s glamour. Sharp double-breasted jackets with wide lapels were paired with fluid billowing trousers and scarves tied sensually around the neck. Jewelry played a key role in elevating these looks. Ornate brooches with floral and bow designs transformed each piece into a statement of timeless elegance. While the daywear segment reflected a more personal, intimate side, the evening looks embodied self-presentation and public persona. The collection was a well-crafted interplay of contrasts: day and night, casual and formal, simplicity and luxury, reality and performance. What stood out the most was the tension between retro glamour and modernity. Vintage-inspired designs were skillfully refreshed by modern silhouettes, cuts and details across both daywear and evening attire. The collection's sense of duality broadens its appeal. It could resonate with broader audience, everyone from Oscar-goers to streetwear enthusiasts. Yet another strong showing from the brand, whereas the designers once again struck the perfect balance between tradition, heritage, and innovation. Giorgio Armani, the legendary fashion designer, unveiled his latest collection for Emporio Armani, which, unlike the main Armani line, caters to a younger audience, offering a more accessible take on luxury. This season's collection was titled Seductive, and it was truly a standout one, not just for its impressive 111 looks, but for how distinctly it diverged from the brand's usual offerings. It unfolded as a journey through diverse aesthetics, moods, and cultural influences. The brand blended elements of nostalgia, modernity, and luxury. Influences ranged from dark romanticism and baroque grandeur to bold codes of masculinity. The collection opened unexpectedly with a skiwear segment. It showcased certain looks that combined technical materials with a lot of patchwork detailing. It featured a rich color palette of deep purple, mustard, magenta, and brown. Accessories include backpacks, massive scarves, hats, and balaclavas. Scarves are crafted from technical materials and designed to be intertwined when worn. I think that opening with ski wear served a deliberate purpose to create a striking contrast with the segments that followed. It sets a tone of surprise and the unexpected. Anyways, the runway transitioned into three-piece velvet suits that drew heavily from 1920s to 1940s influences. It also revealed the true essence of the collection's title, seductive. If you look closely, there is an almost vampiric aura, enhanced by mysterious makeup, sharp tailoring, and moody elegance. The looks carried the perfect mix of nostalgia, opulence, and theatrical drama, all filtered through a modern lens. The velvet suits seamlessly transitioned into wool tailoring, featuring wide-shouldered, oversized suits with vintage details. The structured jacket contrasted beautifully with pleated trousers, creating a dynamic interplay of volume and movement. Thoughtful accessories like the chain on the vest and chocolate velvet ties enhanced the sense of nostalgia, mystery, and luxury. These looks evoked a rich blend of references: vampires masquerading as 1930s detectives, an early 20th century banker, or even a suave villain. The collection also unveiled military-inspired looks that carried the same seductive energy. We had late 70s military fashion-inspired looks with a contemporary edge. Think an undercover agent, a rebellious officer, or a fashion-forward spy. The collection also ventured into traveler-inspired aesthetics. Many looks evoke the spirit of early 20th century adventurers and wartime correspondents. Here the designer focused on the idea of functionality and travel. Here timeless staples got a modern luxe upgrade. In the same spirit, the collection introduced a range of intriguing characters. Dark leather outerwear and matching berets brought to mind an image of artistic nomads and revolutionary thinkers. Some looks lean deeper into the underground scene, resembling a radical intellectual, a beat poet, or a subversive revolutionary. When it comes to luxury and seduction, there is no better material than fur. It's synonymous with mystery, opulence, and status. This collection fully embraced that legacy, showcasing full-length fur coats, plush fur jackets, and fur-trimmed outerwear. Beyond fur, animal prints emerged as another powerful motif. Textured trench coats with subtle leopard patterns exuded old-world elegance and retro sophistication. Leopard print bomber jackets, on the other hand, leaned into 80s glam rock moment. Emporio Armani's journey continued as the collection transitioned into the realm of dark romanticism. This segment was executed in a maximalist style with a lot of intricate embroideries. Those beautiful floral embroidered jackets might have been inspired by Baroque opulence from 16th or 17th century Europe. The looks felt expressive, artistic, and yet remained deeply masculine. The dark allure and the sense of opulence continued in the uniwear segment. Jet black velvet tailoring and intricate silver embroidery transformed models into Gothic aristocrats and Baroque nobility. The show's finale delivered the ultimate power statement: a couple draped in black fur coats adorned with intricate embroidery. They resembled a Gothic power couple, vampire rulers from a dystopian fantasy, or even characters from 1920s Weimar cabaret. Alright, this season the collection surpassed all expectations. It was like a visual journey through diverse styles, moods, and cultural influences. The collection should relate to contemporary men, the ones unafraid to embrace dark romance, artistry, and opulence. The Jordanluca Fall-Winter 25 show was a true celebration of love, both personal and creative. The designers marked their union with a collection that felt like a heartfelt retrospective, culminating in a real wedding ceremony right on the runway. To mark this special moment, the duo revisited their most beloved classics. They did a revival of all their classic pieces that have defined the brand style over the time. Jordanluca is all about contrast, blending raw, rebellious energy of London's underground scene with the craftsmanship of traditional Italian tailoring, which makes sense because Jordan is British and Luca is from Italy. The collection revived everything that has defined the brand's distinct identity. Signature bomber jackets took the center stage, channeling British working-class grit with the brand's signature raw edge. This season, they appeared in kilted designs, resembling a mix between a mechanic's uniform and a punk statement piece. Designers also brought back their signature triple-layered boxers and double collars. One of the brand's most infamous designs, the pea-stained denim pants, did not make a comeback this season. Instead, they introduced black denim splattered with silver patterns, creating an abstract metallic effect that felt both gritty and avant-garde. Other interesting details included horizontal zip closures and functional climbing clips. Those carabiners allow you for creative layering, like securing an extra garment around the waist. In another look, we see how a flannel shirt can be draped over the sides using these clips. British punk influences ran deep throughout the collection, with an abundance of plaid skirts and shirts, reinforcing that gritty, rebellious aesthetic. As usual, a lot of items on the runway feature distressed fabrics, deconstructed silhouettes, and raw edges that give off a post-apocalyptic street punk feel. The focus on Britishness was further emphasized with duffel coats and barber-style jackets. More Britishness and additional cultural references appeared in graphic print ties, some showcasing images of Big Ben, others featuring Stonehenge, one of the UK's most mysterious and ancient landmarks. Even in a collection dedicated to love, Jordanluca could not resist a rebellious twist. Slogans like "I hate love" were boldly displayed on shrunken tops and distressed sweaters, perfectly aligning with the brand's gritty subculture aesthetic, where beauty often emerges from chaos and raw emotion, and where love and hate can coexist. So the collection was a rebellious, punk-infused take on romance, one that does not shy away from love's darker, more complicated side. Approaching love this way makes it feel even more real and authentic. Once again, the brand delivered a decent collection that reinstated its core values while reviving its signature classics. And of course, a big congratulations to the fashion couple, not only for the wedding, but for making fashion feel fresh and undeniably cool.